So the sun's out a little bit. Clouds have kind of gone away. So I am going to get on my sawmill for a little while tonight and see if I can get some lumber milled. Hopefully I get some good pictures and I can make a video for you guys. I haven't done a sawmill video for a long time. So I'm about ready to put a piece of wood underneath there. And that is just the easiest way for me to try to lock the center of the tree in one board. And here you see me with a square. This is just the best way for me to make sure that my board or my cant is at 90 degrees to the blade, so that I can make a straight cut, 90-degree cut on the next one. The last thing I want to do is have a crooked cut on this next cut, because it just messes everything up. And this next cut is where it all seems to go a little bit sideways on this log. you can see just how much tension was in that log when you cut that last board off. There was actually enough tension in that board that the cant is no longer sitting on the sawmill flat, on the deck of the sawmill flat. It's actually bowed up at both ends. So I'm going to have to flip it over here and take another cut off of that top, that you see right now, just to get it all flat again, so that yep, so here we go. So I'll cut off of the top now, just so that I can get it flat again, so that my boards will be flat and they won't have a bow on one side. Okay, so you just saw the tension that I had, and then it ended up, you know, the whole board was uneven, so I sacrificed just a small cut, and I got it all flat again, because it was definitely not a flat cut that first time, because there's so much tension built up. These small diameter trees like this, with all of the wind and everything, they get tension built up in them, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You don't see it, you don't know it until you start cutting into it, and you don't get nearly as much when you're doing larger diameter trees, but I don't have large diameter trees at my disposal. So, but I'm going to mill this, and hopefully it won't have, I'm going to make a 2x4 out of it, and I'm hoping to get 2 2x4s out of it, but I want to get at least one, and I'm hoping that the tension isn't so bad that it warps as soon as I cut it off. But you kind of saw how I fixed that problem by just taking another real, like an 1/8 of an inch cut at one end, in the middle. You know, at that end I took like maybe, it was like 1/4 of an inch cut on that end. In the middle I was barely skimming the top, and then it was about an 1/8 of an inch cut on this end. But this top is uneven right now. It's got a bow to it. I can see it. I don't know if you can or not, but I can definitely see the bow. But now I am going to mill it from the bottom. I'm going to go down and I'm going to mill it at 2 inches, and then I'll pull that board off. I'll put the top board back down and I'll mill it at 2 inches again, and that way I can hopefully get as much yield out of this small diameter tree as possible, and hopefully this will alleviate the bow or the warping in the board. All right, let's get her done. So if you were wondering what I was just doing, I was just checking the thickness and making sure all of my measurements were still good, and they are. So what happens, it's been raining so much, and I haven't run my sawmill for a really long time. But what will happen is if the ground gets too saturated in one area, it can actually get your sawmill unlevel, and that's what these bolts are for. This is what keeps it, your adjustments, so that if you have like a low spot or something, you can adjust it. And I haven't done it since, with all this rain, I haven't been running the mill and checking the, see, and I just go through and check and make sure everything is still square, make sure everything is still working good, because the last thing I want to do is start going quick. You know, I went pretty slow on this log. The last thing I want to do is start going quick, thinking that I'm getting everything square and everything, all my measurements are perfect, and I make a pile of lumber, and that pile of lumber isn't any good, because it's a 1/4 inch off the, you know, measurements or whatever. But you know, it's right on, no problem. So I'm happy with that. Now, because of all the tension in that log, this is the difference. This is why I cut it the way I did. Look at the thickness of that. You know, we start out with, and what is that? Almost 1/2 inch. You come down here and you got a good inch, almost an inch. Follow that all the way down to nothing. And that's just because there's all that tension built up in that log, and as I was cutting it, I was releasing the tension, and it got it just so it was out of adjustment. And sometimes that happens, you know, all that tension, you just gotta let it work its way out. So I haven't done a sawmill video for a while for you guys, and I just wanted to do one. It's a nice evening. Figure I'd at least do one log on the sawmill. I still need to go inside, and I brought home some marked down grapes and mushrooms. And what else did I get? I got something else. One more thing. Mushrooms, grapes. Can't remember now. I'm old. Alzheimer's is setting in. You know, I really wish this Alzheimer's would take the bad memories away and leave me with my good ones, you know. But no, it just takes whatever it wants. For the life of me, I cannot remember what it was. Oh well. I might leave it in the comment, because I'll walk inside and I'll go, oh! Anyway, thank you for watching this edition of Not So Remote Alaska. And if you've made it this far, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know it's a long video. Sawmill videos are always long, just because you want to kind of make a complete video, not just stop halfway through a log or have really big blank spots. So you're a trooper if you made it this far. And until next time, may God bless and keep each and every one of you. And with that, I'm out.